Chapter 6, Evolution. Evolutionary biology is the study of the historic of life forms on Earth. What exactly is evolution? To understand the changes in the flora and fauna that have occurred over millions of years on Earth, we must have understanding of the context of origin of life, evolution of Earth, of stars, and indeed of the universe itself. What follows is the longest of the all construed and conjectured stories. This is the story of the origin of life and evolution of life forms or biodiversity on planet Earth in the context of evolution of Earth and against the background of evolution of universe itself. 6.1 Origin of life. When we look at stars on a clear night sky, we are in a way looking back in the time. Stellar distances, stellar distances are measured in light years. What we see today is an object whose emitted light started its journey millions of years back and from trillions of kilometers away and reaching our eyes now. However, when we see objects in our immediate surrounding, we see them instantly and hence in the present time. Therefore, when we see stars, we apparently are peeping into the past. The origin of life is considered a unique event in the history of universe. The universe is a vast, relatively speaking. The Earth itself is a almost only a speck. This universe is very old, almost 20 billion years old. Huge cluster of galaxies comprises the universe. Universe galaxies contains stars and clouds of gases and dust. Considering the size of the universe, Earth is a indeed speck. The Big Bang theory attempts to explain to us origin of a universe. It talks of small, singular, huge explosion, unimaginable in physical terms. The universe expanded the and hence the temperature came down. Hydrogen and helium formed. Sometime later the gases condensed under gravitation and formed the galaxies of the present day and universe. In the solar system of Milky Way galaxy, Earth was supposed to have been formed about 4.5 billion years back. There was no atmosphere on early Earth. Water vapor, methane, carbon dioxide, and ammonia released from molten mass covered the surface. And the UV rays from the sun broken up water into hydrogen and oxygen, and the lighter H2 escaped. Oxygen combined with ammonia and methane to form water, CO2, and other gases. The ozone layer was formed as it cooled. The water vapor fell as rain to fill all depressions, and from oceans life appeared 500 million year after the formation of Earth, almost 4 billion years back. Did life come from outer space? Some scientists believe in that it came from outside. Early Greek thinkers thought units of life called spores were transferred to different planets, including Earth. Panspermia is still a favorite idea for some astronomers. For a long time, it was believed that life came out of decaying and rotting matter like straw, mud, etc. This was a theory of spontaneous generation. Louis Pasteur, by careful experimentation, demonstrated that life comes only from pre-existing life. He showed that in pre-sterile flask life did not come from killed yeast, while in other flasks open to air, new living organisms arose from killed yeast. A spontaneous generation theory was dismissed once and for all. However, this did not answer how the first life from came on Earth. Operand of Russia and Holden of England proposed that the first form of life could have come from pre-existing non-living organic molecule, example RNA, protein, etc. And the formation of the life was preceded by the chemical evolution, formation of the diverse organic molecules from the inorganic constituents. The conditions on Earth were high temperature, volcanic storm, reducing atmosphere containing CH4, NH3, etc. In 1953, S. L. Miller, an American scientist, created similar condition in a laboratory scale. Figure 6.1, he created electric discharge in a closed containing CH4 and H2 NH3 and water vapor at 800 degrees Celsius. He observed formation of amino acid in a similar experiment. Other observed formation of sugar, nitrogen bases, pigments, and fats. Analysis of meteorite content also revealed similar compounds, indicating that similar processes are occurring elsewhere in space. With this limited evidence, the first part of the conjectured story, chemical evolution, was more or less accepted. We have no idea about how the first self-replicating metabolic capsule of life arose. The first non-cellular forms of life could have originated 3 billion years back. They would have been giant molecules, RNA, protein. polysaccharides, etc. These capsules reproduced their molecule, perhaps the first cellular form of life did not possibly originate till about 2000 million years ago. There were probably single cell. All life forms were in a water environment only. This version of biogenesis, the first form of life, arose slowly through evolutionary forces from non-living molecules in expected by majority. However, once formed, how the first cellular forms of life could have evolved into the complex biodiversity of the today is the fascinating story that we'll discuss below. 6.2 Evolution of life forms a theory. Conventional religious literature tells us about the theory of special creation. This theory has three connotations. One, that all living organisms, species, or types that we see today were created as such. The two, that the diversity was always the same since creation was and will be the same in the future also. 3. That Earth is about 4,000 years old. All these ideas were strongly challenged during the 19th century based on the observations made during a sea voyage in a sail ship called HMS Beagle around the world. Charles Darwin concluded that existing living forms share similarities to varying degrees, not only among themselves but also with the life forms that existed millions of years ago. Many such life forms do not exist anymore. There had been extinction of different life forms in the years gone by, just as new forms of life arose at different periods of the history of Earth. There has been gradual evolution of life forms. Any population has built-in variation in characteristic. Those characteristics will enable some to survive better in natural conditions, climate, food, physical factors, etc. Would outbid others that are less endowed to survive under such natural conditions. Another word used in fitness of the individual or the population. The fitness, according to Darwin, refers ultimately and only to reproductive fitness. And so those who are better in fit environment live more progeny than others. These they are therefore will survive more and hence are selected by nature. He called it natural selection and implied it as a mechanism of evolution. Let us also remember that Alfred Wallace, a naturalist who worked in Malay archipelago, had also come to similar conclusion around the same time. In due to course of time, apparently new type of organisms are recognizable. All the existing life forms share similarities and common ancestors. However, these ancestors were present at the different periods in the history of the earth's epochs, periods and the eras. The geological history of the earth closely correlates with the biological history of the earth. A common permissible conclusion is that earth is very old, not thousands of years as was thought earlier, but the billions of years old. 6.3 What are the evidences for evolution? Evidences that evolution of life forms has indeed taken place on Earth has come from many quarters. Fossils are remain of a hard parts of the life forms could found in rocks from sediments and cross section of the Earth crust indicate the arrangement of sediments one over the other during the long history of Earth. Different aged rock sediments contain fossils of different life forms who probably died during the formation of the particular sediment. Some of them appear similar to the modern organism. They represent extinct organism. Example, dinosaur. A study of fossil in the different sedimentary layer indicates the geological period in which they existed. The study shows that life forms varied over time and certain life forms are restricted to certain geological time spans, and hence new forms of life have arisen at different times in the history of Earth. All this is called paleontological evidences. Do you remember how the age of the fossils are calculated? Do you recollect the method of the radioactive dating and the principle behind the procedure? Embryological support for the evolution was also proposed by the Ernest Haeckel based upon the observations of certain features during embryonic stage common to all vertebrates that are absent in adults. For example, the embryo of the all vertebrate including human develop a row vestigial gill slit just behind the head, but it is a functional organ only in fish and not found in any other adult vertebra. However, this proposal was disapproved on careful study performed by Carl Ernest von Baer. He noted that embryo never passed through the adult stages of the other animals. Comparatively, anatomy and morphology shows similarities and differences among organisms of today and those that existed years ago. Such similarities can be interpreted to understand whether whatever the whatever common whatever common ancestors were shared or not. For example, whales, but bat, cheetah, and humans, all mammals share similarities in pattern of bones of forelimbs. Though these forelimbs perform different function in these animals, they have similar anatomical structure. All them have humerus, radius, ulna, carpus, metacarpus, and phalanges in their forelimbs. Hence, in these animals, the same structure developed along different direction due to adaptation to different needs. This is divergent evolution, and this structure are homologous. Homology indicates common ancestry. Other examples are vertebrae, hearts, or human brains. In plants, also the thorns and tendrils of bougainvillea and cucurbita represent the homology. Homology is based on the divergent evolution, whereas analogy refers to the situation exactly opposite. Wings of butterfly and birds of look alike. They are not anatomical similar structure, though they perform similar functions. Hence, analogous structure are result of a convergent evolution, different structure evolving from for the same function and hence having a similarity. Other example of analogy are the eye of the octopus and mammals, or the flippers of penguin and dolphins. One can say that it is a similar habitat that has resulted in similar sections of the similar adaptive features in different groups of organisms but towards the same function. Sweet potato root modification and potato stem modification is another example of for analogy. In the same line, argument similarities in proteins and genes performing a giving function among diverse organisms give clues to common ancestry. These biochemical similarities point to the same shared ancestry as structural similarities among diverse organisms. Man is a breed selected plants and animals for agriculture, horticulture, sport, or security. Man has domesticated many wild animals and crops. This intensive breeding program has created breeds that differs from other breeds, dogs, but still are of the same group. It is argued that if within hundreds of years men could create new breed, could not nature have done the same over millions of years? Another interesting observation supporting evolution by natural selection comes from England. In a collection of moths made in 1850s, before industrialization set in, it was observed that were more white-winged moth on trees than dark-winged or melanized moth. However, in a collection carried out from the same area, but after industrialization in 1920, there were more dark-winged moths in the same area. The proportion was reversed. The explanation put forth for this observation was that predators will spot a moth against a constructing background during a post-industrialism period. The trees' trunks become dark due to industrial smoke and soot. Under this condition, the white-winged moth did not survive due to predators. Dark-winged or melanized moth survived. Before industrialization set in, thick growth of almost white-colored lichen covered the trees. In the background, the white-winged moth survived, but the dark-colored moth were picked out by predators. Do you know that lichens can be used industrial pollution indicators? They will not grow in areas that are polluted. Hence, moths that were able to camouflage themselves, hide in the background, survived. This understanding is supported by the fact that in areas where industrialization did not occur, in rural areas, the count of the melanic moths was low. This showed that a mixed population, those that can better adapt, survive, and increase in population size. Remember that no variant is completely wiped out. Similarly, excess use of herbicide, pesticide, etc. has only resulted in selection of resistant varieties in much lesser time scale. This is also true for microbes against which we employ antibiotics or drugs against eukaryotic organism cell. Hence resistant organism cells are appearing in a time scale of months or years and not centuries. These are example of evolution by anthropogenic action. This also tells us that evolution is not a directed process in the sense of the determinism. It is a stochastic process based on a chance events in nature and chance mutation in the organisms. 6.4. What is adaptive radiation? During his journey, Darwin went to Galapagos Island. There he observed an amazing diversity of creatures of a particular interest. Small black birds, later called Darwin finches, amazed him. He realized that there were many varieties of finches in the same island. All varieties of he conjectured evolved on the land Iceland itself. From the original seed-eating features, many other forms with altered breeds arose, enabling them to become insectivorous and vegetarian finches. This process of evolution of different species in the given geographical area, starting from the point and literally radiating to other areas of geography. Habitats is called adaptive radiation. Darwin finches represent one of the best example of this phenomena. Another example is in the Australian marsupial. A number of marsupial is different from the other, evolved from the an ancestral stock, but all within the Australian Iceland continent. When more than one adaptive radiation appeared to have occurred in an isolated geographical area representing different habitats. One can call this convergent evolution. Convergent evolution. Placental mammals in Australia also exhibit adaptive radiation and evolving into the varieties of such placental mammals, each of which appears to be similar to corresponding marsupial, placental wolf, and Tanzanian wolf marsupial. 6.5. Biological evolution. Evolution by natural selection is, in the true sense, would have started when cellular forms of life with differences in metabolic capability originated on Earth. The essence of the Darwinian theory about evolution is a natural selection. The rate of the appearance of a new forms is linked to the life cycle or the lifespan. Microbes that divided fast have the ability to multiply and becomes millions of individuals within hours. A colony of bacteria, growing on a given medium, has a built-in variation in terms of ability to utilize a feed component. A change in the medium composition would bring out only the that part of the population, say B, that can be survive under the new conditions. In due course of time, this variant population outgrows the others and appears as a new species. This would have this would happen within days. For the same thing to happen in a fish or fowl would take millions of years, as the lifespans of these animals are in the years. Here we say that fitness of B is better than that of A under the new condition. Nature selects for the fitness. Once one must remember that so-called fitness is based on characteristics which are inherited. Hence, there must be genetic basis of getting selected and evolved. Another way of saying the same thing is that some organisms are better adapted to survive otherwise hostile environment. Adaptive ability is inherited. It has a genetic basis. Fitness is the end result of the ability to adapt and get selected by nature. Branching descent and natural selection are the two key concepts of Darwinian theory of evolution. Even before Darwin, a French naturalist Lamarck had said evolution of life forms had occurred but driven by use and disuse of organs. He gave examples of giraffes who, in an attempt to forage leaves on tall trees, had to adapt elongation of their necks. As they passed on, this acquired character of elongated neck to succeeding generation. Giraffes slowly over the years came to acquire long necks. Nobody believes in this conjunction conjecture anymore. Is evolution a process or result of process? The world we see in inanimate and animate is only the success story of evolution. When we describe the story of this world, we describe the evolution and process. On the other hand, when we describe the story of the life on earth, we treat evolution as a consequence of a process called natural selection. We are still not very clear whatever the regard evolution and natural selection we as processes or and results of unknown processes. It is a possible that the work of Thomas Malthus and population influence Darwin. Natural selection is based on the certain observations which are factual. For example, natural resources are limited. Population are stable in size except for seasonal fluctuation. Members of the population vary in characteristic. In fact, no two individuals are alike, even though they look superficially similar. Most of the variation are inherited, etc. The fact that theoretically population size will grow exponentially if everybody reproduce maximally. This fact can be seen in growing bacterial population, and the fact that population sizes is really are limited means that there had been competition for resources. Only some survived and grew at the cost of the others that could not flourish. The novelty and brilliant insights of Darwin was this: he asserted that variation which are heritable and which make resources utilization better for few adapted to habitat better will enable only those to reproduce on and live more progeny. Hence, for a period of time over many generations, survivors will live more progeny, and there would be a change in population characteristic, and hence new form to appears to arise. 6.6 Mechanism of evolution. What is the origin of this variation and how does speciation occur? Even though the Mendel had talked of inheritable factors influencing phenotype, Darwin either ignored these observations or kept silence in the first decade of 20th century. Hugo de Vries, based on his work on evening primrose, brought forth the idea of the mutation, large differences arising suddenly in a population. He believed that it is a mutation which causes evolution and not the minor variation heritable that Darwin talked about. Mutation are random and directionless, while Darwin and variation are small and directional. Evolution for Darwin was gradual, while De Vries believed that mutation caused speciation and hence called it saltation. Single step large mutation. Studies in population genetics later brought out some clarity. 6.7 Hardy-Weinberg principle. In a given principle, one can find out the frequency of the occurrence of alleles of a gene or a locus. This frequency is supposed to remain fixed and even remain the same through generation. Hardy-Weinberg principle started it using allergic equation. This principle says that allelic frequency in a population are stable and is constant from generation to generation. The gene pool, total genes and their alleles in the population remain a constant. This is called genetic equilibrium. Some total of all allelic frequency is one. Individual frequency, for example, can be named P, Q, etc. In a diploid, P and Q represent the frequency of allele A and allele small a. The frequency of capital A individual in a population simply P square. This is simply stated in another individual in a population is simply P square. This is simply stated in another ways. The probability that an allele A with frequency of P appear on both chromosomes of a diploid individual is simply the product of probabilities. P square similarity of AA small a square small a is Q square of capital A small a 2pq. Hence P square plus 2pq plus Q square is equals to 1. This is a binomial expression of a P plus Q square. When frequency measured differs from expected values, the differential direction indicates the extent of evolutionary change. Distribution in a genetic equilibrium or Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Change of frequency of alleles in a population would then be interpreted as a resulting in evolution. Five factors are known to affect Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. These are gene migration or gene flow, genetic drift, mutation, genetic recombination, and natural selection. When migration of a section of population to another place and population occurs, gene frequency changes the original as well as in the population as well in the new population. New genes alleles are added to the new population, and these are lost from the old population. There would be a gene flow in this if this generation migrate if this gene migration happens multiple times. If if the same change occur by chance, it is called genetic drift. Sometimes the change in the allele frequency is so different in the new sample of the population that they become a different species. The original drifted population becomes founder, and the effect is called founder effect. The microbial experiment shown that a pre-existing advantages, mutations, and when selected will result in the observation of new phenotypes over few generations. This would result in speciation. Natural selection is a process in which a heritable variation enabling better survival and or are enabled to reproduce and leave greater number of progeny. A critical analysis makes us believe that a variation due to mutation or variation due to recombination during gametogenesis or due to gene flow or genetic drift result in changed frequency of genes and alleles in future generation, coupled to enhance reproductive success. Natural selection makes it look like a different population. Natural selection can lead to stabilization in which more individual acquire mean character value. Directional change, more individual acquire value other than the mean character value, or disruption, more individual acquire peripheral character value at both ends of the distribution curve. 6.8, a brief account of evolution. About 2000 million years ago, Maya, the first cellular forms of life appeared on Earth. The mechanism of how non-cellular aggregates of giant macromolecules could evolve into the cells with a membranous envelope is not known. Some of these cells had the ability to release O2. The reaction could have been similar to the light reaction in photosynthesis, where water is split within the help of solar energy captured and channelized by the appropriate light harvesting pigment. Slowly, single-celled organisms become multicellular life forms. By the time of 500 Maya, invertebrates were formed and active. Jawless fish probably evolved around 350 million years ago. Seaweeds and few plants existed probably around 320 Maya. We are told that the first organisms that invaded land were plants. They were widespread on the land when animals invaded land. Fish with stout and strong fins could move on land and go back to water. This was about 350 million years ago. In 1938, a fish caught in South America happened to coelacanth, which was thought to be extinct. These animals called dolphins evolved into the first amphibians that lived on both land and water. There are no specimens of this left with us. However, these were ancestors of modern day frogs and salamanders. The amphibians evolved into the reptiles that lack thick shelled eggs which do not dry up in the sun, unlike those of amphibians. Again, we only see their modern day descendants, the turtle, tortoise, and the crocodile. In the next 200 million years or so, reptiles of different shapes, size, and dominated on Earth. Giant ferns, pteridophyte were present, but they all fell to form coal deposits slowly. Some of these land reptiles were back into the water to evolve into the fish-like reptiles, probably 200 million years ago. Thiosaurus, the land reptiles. Thiosaurus. The land reptile were of course the dinosaurs. The biggest of them is Tyrannosaurus Rex, was about 220 feet in height and had huge fearsome dagger-like teeth. About 65 million years ago, the dinosaurs suddenly disappeared from the earth. We do not know the true reason. Some say climatic changes killed them. Some say most of them evolved into the birds. The truth may live in between. Small-sized reptiles of that era still exist today. The first mammals were like shrews. Their fossils are small-sized mammals were viviparous and protected their unborn young inside the mother's body. Mammals were more intelligent in sensing and avoiding danger. At least when reptiles came down, mammals took over this earth. There were in South America mammals resembling horse, hippopotamus, bear, rabbit, etc. Due to continental drift, when South America joined North America, these animals were overridden by North American fauna. Due to the some continental drift, paused mammals of the Australia survived because of the lack of competition from the any other animals. Lest we forget, some mammals live wholly in water. Whales, dolphins, and seals in the sea. Cows are example evolution of horse, elephant, dog, etc. Are special stories of evolution. You will learn about this in a higher classes. The most successful story is the evolution of a man with the language skills and self-consciousness. A rough sketch of the evolution of life forms. Their times on geological scale are indicated in figure 6.9 and 6.10. Origin and evolution of man. About 15 million years ago, primates called Dryopithecus and Ramapithecus were existing. They were hairy and walked like a gorillas and chimpanzees. Ramapithecus were more man-like, while Dryopithecus was more ape-like. Few fossils of man-like bones have been discovered in Ethiopia and Tanzania. These revealed hominid feature and leading to the believe that about 3-4 million years ago, man-like primates walked in the eastern Africa. They were probably not taller than 4 feet but walked upright. Two Maya Australopithecus were probably lived in East African grassland. Evidence shows that hunted with stone weapons but essentially ate fruit. Some of the bones among the bones discovered were different. This creature was called the first human being. The hominid was called Homo habilis. The brain capacities were between 650 to 800 cc. They probably did not eat meat. Fossils discovered in Java in 1891 revealed the next stage, Homo erectus. About 1.5 million years ago, Homo erectus had a large brain around 900 cc. Homo erectus probably ate meat. The Neanderthal man with a brain size of 1400 cc lived in the Near East and Central Asia between 1 lakh to 40,000 years back. They used hides to protect their body and buried their dead. Homo sapiens and arose in Africa and moved across continents and developed into distinct races during Ice Age between 75,000 to 10,000 years ago. Modern Homo sapien arose. Prehistoric cave art developed about 18,000 years ago. One such cave painting of by prehistoric humans can be seen in Bhimbetka rock shelter in Rezin district of Madhya Pradesh. Agriculture came around 10,000 years ago. Yeah, 10,000 years back, and human settlements started. The rest of what happened is part of a human history of a growth and a decline of civilization. Thank you, and sorry for the inconvenience. Goodbye, take care.